Okay. All right. So I should have everything ready to go. All right. Welcome, everyone. We're going to get going with some kvCore training. Before we start, if you go to I set up a YouTube channel for these videos, and let me put it here in the chat. It is youtube.com. Oh, wait a minute. It is Mortgages by Sean YouTube. So if you go to Mortgages by Sean, youtube.com, it has all the recordings of what we've done in the past. I think this is like our fifth one or fourth one that we've done. So I've been going through each one, and it's been basic kind of settings, but mostly geared towards lead generation, because we can go through a lot of this stuff here on the left side. A lot of the settings, but the most important thing obviously is bringing business to you through lead generation using kvCore. Now, today I'm going to try and take a basic setting each time that I feel is important. And then I'm going to go over that in the training, along with how to get more business using kvCore. Because I think a lot of times you go through these classes and they teach you how to do website stuff, and we're not here to do website stuff. We're here to do, how do I make more money, and how do I get business into kvCore? So, but I'll go through one setting today, or a few settings. So to start off, whenever you log into kvCore, and I say this every time, you see who's looking at properties, the people who have registered on your site, who are looking for properties, what they're looking for. And what you want to do is you want to, engage with them. And you can do this through kvCore, email, call. There's some video features that I'll go over in here in the future. You can text, and you can engage with these people even real time. If they're on right now, you could, pop up in their text and say, I see you're looking, Jeff, I see you're looking at 7341 Heather Street, and Joseph, I see you looking at this, and William, I see you looking at this. You can engage with these people, and then, you get them while they're looking, and do it in a short period after. Then you would definitely get more of a response, and your conversion rate will be better. So Jessica just asked me, if you text, does it come from your cell phone? That's one of the things I'm going to show you today, and that's your smart number. So let's get into that right now. So when you text, or you can even call through kvCore, you don't have to use your cell phone if you don't want to. kvCore is set up to be able to, you can call, you can text, you can email through kvCore. So when you text somebody or call somebody through kvCore, this number right here is a smart number. Okay, this is given to everybody. Now, one of the things you got to understand is everybody in our area is going to get a 941 area code. Now, you can, if you want to, go in here to lead engine. See this right here, lead engine, call and text capture. So here's your smart number. Now, it says office smart number because this is a generic number given to everybody. I don't know if it's the exact same, but I think it pretty much is. So this is free. You do not have to pay for this number. So whenever you text through kvCore, it's going to come from this number. So they're going to probably call you back on this number. And chances are you going to get the call? I don't necessarily know if it goes directly to you. So this is kind of like a round robin thing through the office. So what I would do is I would order your own smart number, which will be, if you're in Pinellas or, you know, this side, it's going to be a 727 area code. If you want it to be 813, it can be 813. It can be a personalized smart number coming directly to you, which I would do all day. Because you don't know who's calling you, because you're doing all these things in kvCore, and kvCore has its own SEO in there. So you don't know who's going to call and where they're coming from. So it is $27 a month to get that number, but it's worth it, in my opinion, because there's some things I'll show you in the future how to use this smart number, and you can personalize, and you can use it in ads, and then so you can see where certain leads are coming from. But yeah, if you don't have this, if this thing doesn't say your agent smart number, if it says your office smart number, it's the free 941 number, and that necessarily, I wouldn't use that. I would go ahead and spend the $27 a month to get a number that will be a 727. See, we in the past, Karen has used this when I think when we were on a team version back in the day, we did this was the direct number 727-240-2771. Now she's not utilizing that anymore because of Teams, but if you want your personalized smart number, I would do that. I would definitely do that.
Allow you to
let's go ahead. Did someone say something?
They don't allow you to put a number in at all, like your own number?
Nope.
No.
It is their number, unless you pay them $27 a month, which, you know, I understand that's more money out of your pocket. It is coming to this 941 number. I was going to test it this weekend, and I got busy. I was going to call it and see if it went directly to Karen, but I've seen some of the training videos that said this is a generic number, so you're going to want your own smart number. All right, so the next thing I want to go over is, and it's going to be basic web settings. Okay, these are things you need to check. Like last week, I went over some of your profile settings. You want to make sure all this stuff is right, because when people Google you, which they will, they always do, this kvCore website is going to come up at some point. So you want to make sure these settings are correct and that everything looks good and you look professional. And like I said last week, every real estate agent has to have a Facebook page, a Facebook business page, a Instagram page, a LinkedIn page, and a YouTube channel. Every one of you have to have that. Really, I mean, people are like, I don't want to manage all that. Well, we're in 2022, and if you are not on these social sites, believe it or not, you're gonna lose business. You may not even know it, but if somebody is giving your number and your name and they search you and you have no presence, they're going to go with the people that have presence. So you got to have those things. So we want to make sure all of these settings are correct. So you're going to want to go into web and IDEX, and you want to go in here. Now, this is all your information. This is how the website is set up. This is how the website looks. Okay. These are things that you can change on your own. You can go into edit settings here. And then right here on the left-hand side are the sections of your website. Okay. You've got the general section, which is your template. I would just leave that alone. That's the same template for everybody. Now you've got some, go down here to where it says background. This other stuff right here, I wouldn't touch it that much unless you're really, really, really crazy about how your site looks. The way it comes looks good. Now the background images, that's important because that's what is seen in the background. Okay. When someone pulls up your website, they pull this one. Well, you can, you know what? Here it is right here. So this is Karen's, okay? She has a video in her background, which I think is pretty cool, okay? But this is the look of the site. This is the main site, KarenVomero.exp.com. And last week I kind of told you that I think you should have your own website. You should have Sean, mine was realestatebyshawn.com, okay? And it forwarded directly to this, or you can call kvCore and they'll link that site, that realestatebyshawn.com or whatever your personal name is to this. So it doesn't have karenvomero.exp.com, because when you give that out, people, my name for sure. If I said Sean McManaman.exe, nobody knows how to spell my name. So it's better to personalize it. And you can do that with kvCore. So you're gonna, in here, you wouldn't do that really. You would do that in another area, but that's what the site looks like. So when you go down to this background, Karen uses a video. So none of this is really relevant. Okay. You can upload your own image right here if you want to, and just, maybe a listing or something like that, or a picture that you like, you can put right in here, and that'll be your background. The other sections that I want to go over that is important is right here where there is, where's background? You got custom navigate, you got listing carousels. So right here where it says listing carousels, this, if you look at Karen's site right here, this is the listings carousel. She's showing my listings first, just listed, and just reduced. Okay. Those are the things that are in here that she's showing. So you see my listings, just listed, just reduced. You can change these. You can have open houses. You can have whatever you want. These are the choices you can put in there. So you want to make sure you like the way it looks. The next section I want, and this, I'm scrolling down here. This thing goes forever. So over here on the left-hand side, you can go directly to certain sections without having to scroll all the way down. So listing carousel is important. Listings is the other important thing. So right here where it says listings, right here, this is this stuff right here. So you want to make sure that you like what's there, because you can uncheck these things and save them. If you don't want commercial, you may want to take commercial out of here. You may want to take land out of there and hit save, so that stuff's not showing, but that's where it is. Okay. And once you make that change, it takes a couple minutes, but it will be live on your website once you change those. So you can just go through here, and there are just different parts of this, and you can play with it, because anything you change, you can unchange. I mean, you can undo. So it's not like you've killed something. If you put the wrong thing in here, you're going to freak out and say, well, I've messed up my website for good. That's not true. Now, one of the things that Karen has, like I said, was this video. That's her background. Make sure a lot of this stuff, like your contact and your emails, in here correctly. But one of the things, and for your Facebook ID chat, we're going to go through that in another training. That's definitely something you need. This conversion code, if you're doing ads, you're going to need, or drop ads in here, you're going to need that. But where am I trying to get to? Trying to get to the Facebook or the video, the YouTube section. I thought it was in here, but where you would put the YouTube code for that video that Karen has in the background. Maybe I just missed it. Let's see. Let me try one more time before I make everybody dizzy. I'm getting dizzy going up and down. All right. Let's see. Well, I was gonna show it. Oh, there it is right here. Template. Background YouTube. So if you got a YouTube video that you want to have in your background like Karen does, this video right here that's playing, that comes from a YouTube channel that she must have paid somebody for, and they did this video. So what you would do is you would go into YouTube and get this code, which is on the end of every YouTube video. Okay, let me show you where that is. And right here. So this is where Karen had got that video right here. Okay, this is the video. So she must have paid this person, or this person gave it to him for the background. This right here, the CJEZ5, all this is what you would copy. You make sure that you're on the video, and then you copy this little code, and then you put that right here, because it knows it's YouTube. It's already coded in that this is all it wants. You don't have to put that whole youtube.com/watch TV, whatever it is. You just put those last little digits in there, and then you'll be able to have your video on your kvCore site. So those are the settings I would go through. And there's a training watch now. It's pretty quick. I think it's only a couple minutes, and it's not really in depth, but you want to make sure all this is correct. So I'm going to go in here and look at some questions. How do these numbers show up on a lead's phone? Can they be identified as spam? Yes. And that's from Joe. So when you have that smart number, that's the number that's going to show up. If you call through kvCore, that's the number that's going to show up. This number, smart number, they call it, that one will show on their phone. So if you're using kvCore as a dialer, which I don't know, I mean, I guess depends if you want to give out your number. This is the number that shows, and it could be identified as spam. So that's why if you get the individual number, most likely that's not going to identify as spam. So this one I think would. Let's see, they get another question. How do you upload a video like Karen? I think I just showed you. If you just go into that site, that area, the web and IDEX, and then you put in those settings, that's where you're going to do the video. You can have kvCore do a lot of this stuff too. If you don't want to get into this and you're afraid you're going to put it in the wrong area, you can have them do it. I don't know if they charge for something like that. I don't think they would, something minor. Right here, that's where that video is going to be. All right, so I think that's all the questions for now. All right, so those are the basic kvCore settings. Go in there, play with it. If you have time on a weekend or downtime, it definitely making your website look good is important. I mean, don't spend hours upon hours doing it, but it's important because it's what you're showing the public. So you want it to look good. All right. So, and another question. So if you are not going to call or text through kvCore, you probably don't need a personal. That is correct. But when you set up campaigns, okay, when you set up campaigns in here, automatic smart campaigns, which I went through in another video, and maybe I'll revisit this again. These are your campaigns. That means when people are coming in here and they're getting assigned to a campaign automatically, if any part of that campaign says text, that's where the number's coming from. So it's not necessarily you just calling from kvCore. It's if you text through kvCore, or you have an automatic campaign that's set up that's texting through kvCore, that's the number it's coming from. And if you click this button and text, it's coming from that number. So just depends how much involved you want to be. Now, people, when you text them through kvCore, if they're going to respond back to that 941 number. And you know what I might do? I might test that later with Karen and see how that works. But it's changed over the years with kvCore. Sometimes they had it to where it was going to a round robin in an office. That's the last time I knew about it. So that's why I never took chances with it. All right, so let's go through. And the next topic I want to go through is that Facebook custom audience. Now, if you have your database in here, then, and you should have uploaded it, and that's in a prior video too, is you want to export contacts out of kvCore kind of like on a monthly basis, okay? And I would do it on a monthly basis. You can do it, whenever you want to do it, but you want to make sure it's up to date in Facebook if you're going to do this, the custom audiences along with an ad, which I recommend you do $1 a day ad. and you use custom audiences. So all of your contacts in kvCore live in Smart CRM. They are tagged different things. And depending on how you've set up your hashtags down here, okay, home valuation, nosy neighbors, zip code, these are Karen's hashtags. And I went over hashtags in a prior video also. And you can utilize hashtags to classify people in different ways. You have the status, which is your choice, prospect, new lead, sphere, whatever you want in status. You can set up custom campaigns based on status, based on your hashtags, different things you can use, okay? There's other things you can do in the Smart CRM. You can mass email. You know, if you want to just send out a mass email to everybody, do it in here. And whatever that is, mass text, again, coming from that smart number, you can send it to several people, or you can send it to one, you know, whatever. Video message, we'll get into that. More actions. You can assign tasks, hashtags, change their status, and you can do this on multiple people at once. So you don't have to go in each individual and do that. Let's say you want to put multiple people into a hashtag. You just check, you would select them, more actions, and whatever you do here is going to go and it's going to be put into these people that you select. So there's a lot of things you can do in Smart CRM. So I would definitely live in here also. But to get your sphere is what I call it, or your people you want to put in your custom audiences, you go in here, and what I would do, you click filter. So you can change the look of this, all right? What I want to do is I want to pull out all my sphere because I want those to be in a custom audience. I could also do a custom audience for prospects and new leads if I wanted to. And that could be an ad that I run. So I'm going to do sphere, okay? Because I want all my people that know me, that like me, and I'm going to run $1 a day ad in Facebook, which we'll go over in another training, but I went over how to set up an ad. But once you apply the filter of sphere, now everybody's going to have different numbers in here, okay? Right now, Karen has 37,000 contacts in here total, not sphere, but of over the years she's been with you know, EXP or wherever, all of her contacts she uploaded in here. That's how many she has now. So right now in sphere, okay, you see this is our contacts. Okay, these are people that she's done business with, knows, whatever, however she has it in here. You have 380 of them. Okay, that's sphere. So what you do is once you choose sphere, and I did that with filters, and I chose sphere, and I chose apply filter. So now only thing that's showing is sphere. What I do, I go into more actions, and I will export the contacts. Okay, it's going to export them out. It's going to export what I just searched. When I click export, it says I have to first, before I do that, choose all. And then I say export. Export. I don't know why it's saying 0 contacts. I just did this. Filters applied. Export. There we go. I didn't hit filters applied. My bad. So you got to hit that filters applied. And before you export, it's going to say how many things you're, you know, whatever you're choosing to do, export, hashtag, whatever, it's going to tell you how many of them. Well, this is 380. So I'm going to export 380 contacts. And when I do that, you can ignore it, Karen. You're going to get an email. I've already done this. So you get an email to your whatever email's in here in your kvCore. It's sent to karen.vomero@exprealty.com. Okay. takes a little bit of time. Now, once you do that, okay, once you've had it exported, then you want to go into Facebook. Okay. You want to go into your business. Remember, I said last week, set up or 2 weeks ago, whenever, you've got to set up a business account with Facebook. You got to have a business page. There's no excuse for not having a business page in Facebook. I have so many in here from when I was doing real estate, from when I'm doing mortgages. I have different pages for different types of ads and different content. You need to have a Facebook business page. If you don't know how to set it up, get with me or just Google it. There's plenty of videos to show you, and it's very easy. But what you want to do is to set up a custom audiences. You're going to go into business.facebook.com. Okay. It's going to bring you to this page. And this is your business kind of like page that you can do ads. You can do certain things with. This is an ads manager where you're running your ads, where you're going to run that $1 a day ad. And $1 a day is, $365 a year for sending an ad to your sphere. You're going to get a deal out of it. I can promise you, if you do it all year and you're consistent, you will get a deal. If you don't, if you do it half-ass or you do it sometimes and you're on, sometimes you're off, you won't. Everything about advertising and marketing is consistency. So you want to set up, when you're in Facebook, audience. Okay. You're going to go in here and you're going to set up a custom audience. Custom audience means that's who you're advertising to. You're advertising to this set of, I have several contact or custom audiences in here, and you're going to want to upload it. I've already uploaded this over the weekend, Karen's, because I wanted to see how it worked, make sure it worked okay. So when you do the custom audience, you go in to the main menu, hit custom audience. What you're going to do is you're going to click on custom audience, and then you're going to want to upload that CSV file. Once you get that CSV file, this is where you upload it. Okay. Facebook will take care of everything for you. It's very simple, but here's important stuff. You want to make sure your source, when you're uploading it, is a custom list, customer list. For right now, you don't need any of this other stuff, just customer list. That's going to enable you to upload. Hit next. Now it gives you all these templates that you can download so you can see how to upload it and put it. This is what Facebook looks for when it's doing kind of sorting through your list. All right. Because you're going to upload this list, and this list, all the people that are on this list will not necessarily go into this custom audience because they may not have a Facebook profile. And if they don't have a Facebook profile, they're not going to be in the list, obviously, because you can't advertise to them. But for the most part, everyone has a Facebook profile. I mean, I don't know of anybody who doesn't. Maybe there are some people who just don't like Facebook. I understand that. But for the most part, you want to make it easier to stay in front of your sphere where you don't have to call them, consistently, even though you should, or email them, because nobody reads emails, but everybody looks at Facebook or Instagram because this is going to be on Facebook and Instagram. So this is what Facebook looks for. They look for to identify the people: email, phone number, first name, last name. If you had these things, your Facebook user ID, you're not going to have these things on people. So this is what Facebook, this is the first line they look for. They look for email first, whatever's registered an email on Facebook. They look for phone number. They look for names and the IDs, obviously. These are other things they look for to kind of weed through it, but this is not as important. If this is on your list, that's fine. But these are things that absolutely have to be in that list. So if you're uploading a custom audience from anywhere else, well, it's all going to be a CSV file. These are things you want in there so that Facebook can identify with them. So I'm going to say next. And you want us to just say yes to this. Customer value is included in the list. Okay. Yes. Whether it or either for us, actually, no. You want no, I'm sorry. You want no in here because we don't, this is more for like products and things like that. So you can put no. Don't have to have a value for each customer. So now this is where you upload. Okay. Upload file. Click on it. And when you do that, this is going to come up. Wherever you loaded it on your computer, this it's going to come up right here. See this right here. I had Karen's contacts in because this is from the weekend when I did it, when I exported it. And when you export it, this is what you're going to get. And you're going to save it on your computer. So now you're going to open. I'm going to delete this after I do it because I don't want two of these lists. So now this is your audience from the CSV file from kvCore. Next. Now, once you do that, it's going to see what's in the CSV file, right? Right now, it's identifying 3 things already. It can tell what these are. And it sees that there's emails on this list. Obviously, you're going to have emails because when you export it from kvCore, you're going to have all this information or whatever list you're uploading. So you don't have to map these, in other words. So it picked up this email, picked up this phone number, which is a home phone when nobody has that anymore, but you can just leave it. And then a cell phone, it picks that up. And you want it to be mapped to phone number, okay? This right here, these drop downs, this is Facebook's field, okay? So whatever list you're uploading, you want to make sure these are in there. Now there's other fields that are in this list that Facebook may recognize, it may not. Well, you know, first name is something that Facebook will recognize. So you put in first name. This is the kvCore list. That was the Facebook field. This last name, this is what's on kvCore. So you want to map it to last name in Facebook also. That's it. There's nothing else really. If you want to put city and state, you can. You don't have to. See all this hashtag. This is all kvCore stuff. Okay. Well, Facebook doesn't have a corresponding field, so you're not going to worry about it. So you can go through here. If you want to try to find city, you can, but I found that that really doesn't matter. Unless there's a person with your identical name, identical phone number, and email address as you do. So now once you're done, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to map anything else. You can then import and create. Now, Facebook is going to go in there and look at that list. You don't need to do anything here. You don't want to create a lookalike audience. That's totally advanced. We're not going to go through that. You don't want to create an ad unless you're ready to create that ad. You do not want to create another custom audience. 380 rows uploaded. That means 380 contacts. Now you're done. Okay. Right now, it's going to go out there and it's going to look for these. You're going to always see this thing that says populating. That means right now, Facebook is looking at that list and they're populating the fields that you uploaded, and it's trying to identify to see if this person's on Facebook. All right. Once it's complete, it takes a little while to do this. So you can't just do this, then run an ad. You got to wait a little bit for it to be done. So I did this on Saturday right here. This is the complete version. Okay. Custom audience for Karen's. It's ready to use. This says ready, but it says populating. So you can't use it yet. One of the things Facebook has done, and I think they changed this in 2017, which it's just, sometimes it's a pain. You can't see how many people are on this list. And Facebook does that on purpose because they want privacy. You just know, even though it says not available right here, estimated audience size, not available. So usually when that happens when there's under 1,000, okay? And so it used to say below 1,000. Back in 2017, I uploaded this list. It says below 1,000, below 1,000. Now it just says not available. So do not panic if you see this in your custom audience not available. You can still use it for an ad. All right. It doesn't matter. It's just under 1,000 and it doesn't tell you. When it's over 1,000, it'll tell you. Like this list right here at 346,000 people. That was back in 2019 when I could definitely advertise a little more in depth. Now you can't do that as much. This one had 22 to 2,600. So you're going to have not available. Don't worry about that. You can then run your ad off of this custom audience. So the ad will only go to these people on the list. This is whenever you pay for people to do your Facebook ads, this is what they do. They use custom audiences. They do not necessarily use cold audiences like an ad that goes everywhere. They'll be hyper focused on a list. Now, you can run plenty of ads to cold audiences, which I do all the time, and it's fine. But you kind of are advertising to a certain area. You don't want to just advertise everywhere in Florida because that ad will be too big. There'll be too many people and too much competition. So a beautiful thing about the custom audience is you can advertise to just these people. And when you do that, once you've uploaded it, you can then create an ad. And when you're doing this ad, and I'm not going to take you through doing the whole ad. We don't have enough time. And I'll do that on another training where you're doing an ad that goes directly to your sphere. You can add to that list, that custom audience list, whenever you want. Once you've uploaded it, you can add. I'll go back and show you. But when you create a new campaign and you want to create a new ad, let's say I want to do traffic, continue. Once I'm in the ad, this is where, go to the next page. I'm just going quick because I want to show you that where you're going to choose it. You're going to actually choose your audience. See, right here is where you just, it's a cold audience. Custom audience right here is where you choose your existing audience to send the ad to. Karen's contacts, that's where I would send the ad. So you want to name it when you're uploading it to something you'll remember. Get out of this because that we're not doing an ad. But again, you want to go into the business manager. I want to get out of the ads manager and I want to go into the account overview. And I want to go to audiences, back to my audiences. You didn't have to see where I was going because you're not going to be in that section. But here are my audiences again. Now, let's say I want to add to this list. All right. I can add to the list. I can edit. So I can add to this list, add customers. Do that again. This is the list that was uploaded. The one that's ready to go, that's not populating. I'm going to delete this other one. You click on that. Then you go over here and click edit. And you can add to this list. If you want to do it on a monthly basis, you can. If you want to do it on a weekly basis, I mean, I wouldn't do it. I would just do it on a monthly basis. And you can add to this list each time. So you can continually keep this as a list that is relevant. And then you can run your ad to that list. And I would recommend that if you get a renters list, that's not a bad idea. If you want buyers, you can buy them. There's different places you can get them, but you can get a renters list. If you want to, I know Brian had tax records from a certain neighborhood or city. You can do that too. I used to have, here's Trinity buyers excluding realtors. That was back when we can exclude people. We can't do that anymore. I just pulled a list. Safety Harbor homeowners. I was advertising to Safety Harbor directly. You can go in Remime and you can pull everybody that owns a house in Safety Harbor and you can do an ad directly to them. So these custom audiences are really useful. But for what I would recommend is definitely do them to your sphere. Do $1 a day. I'm going to show you how to do that ad. And you can change every month. You can change the ad too. You can 1 month make it a video, 1 month make it a print ad with pictures, another month make it whatever. Facebook, people are on Facebook all the time, and Instagram is, I keep saying just Facebook, but Instagram's included in this. When you run an ad to your sphere, it's going to be in their news feed. It's going to be in front of them. They're not even going to know they're seeing you half the time, but it's in their brain that they see your name and what you do. So if somebody they come across somebody throughout the week and they're looking to sell a house or buy a house, your name's going to be on their mind. It's all about keeping in front of people. And this is easier and cheaper than sending out a newsletter that most people aren't even going to look at. This is something that is in front of their face and they see it all the time. So that's what I would do with this $1 a day ad. You can run it to multiple custom audiences too. You don't have to just do one. So if you want to put in another one that sees that ad every day, you can do that. So that's really what I want to go through today. The settings, setting up the custom audience so you can do an ad off of it. If you wanted to do an ad this week, you could, and just go back through my videos. I did that, how to do an ad in Facebook, a basic ad. You can do that if you want. If you want me to help you out with it, I can definitely help you out with it. But I think that's all I want to go through on Facebook and kvCore. So the custom audiences and this website and smart CRM is something that is so important because you can see all your contacts. Once you've done this filter, you can clear it and go back to your normal. I want to see everybody in my CRM right here. So it's going back, and then let's see, it's going to show everybody. This is everybody that's come in, whether it's an ad, whether it's whatever you've done to attract them, whether you've put them in as a contact, new leads come in as off of your page and your ads, prospects, same thing, nosy neighbors, zip code. So these are hashtags that are in there, home valuation. So I know you guys are going to be getting home valuation pages. We're going to figure out how to get the people that go into that home valuation and make sure they're dropping in here. You have different categories that you can use. These are them, the status, sphere, new lead, client, close, whatever you want. You can do it. You can personalize it however you want to do it. Then you can search and you can run a campaign off of these. You can run a campaign off of the hashtags also. So that's really all I want to go through today. If you have any questions, I'm opening it up for questions. Anybody have any questions? I saw all the chats. All right. So it doesn't look like I have any questions. So definitely contact me if you have any questions. If you want to go through some things, maybe one-on-one, we can do that. It's up to you. We can set up a time. We can Zoom it. But this is my cell phone number. I'm putting it in the chat. There we go. That's my cell phone. Text me, call me. I'll set up a time. We can even do it after hours if so. If you want to do it in person, we can do it in person. But yeah, reach out to me, because if you go back through some of the videos and you have any questions, because sometimes when you go through the video, you have questions after it. Now I go through everything step by step, so you can watch it on the video. And I would do that. I would definitely go register on that YouTube channel. Then you'll know when a new video's up, because I'm going to be doing some trainings that aren't necessarily something we're doing on Tuesdays, something that's a little more advanced, maybe, that if you want to watch it, you can. I don't want to, take your time to do it here on the Tuesday, but there's going to be other videos. I figured out, I get a lot of questions from agents, so I'm going to do some marketing videos to anybody who wants to know how to do certain things. And so it'll be on that YouTube page, and it's Mortgages by Sean, youtube.com. So you can go there. And I think that's it. And if everybody is all ready to roll and go through your day, I could be done. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Hopefully, I didn't confuse you too much with custom audiences. It can get confusing, but it's very powerful. People don't understand that if you just ran $1 a day ad to your sphere, you are going to get business from it because people will see you. Most people don't remember their real estate agent or their mortgage person. Once they close, they're gone. They want to move on with their life, but you want to be in front of them. So that's what's most important. Thank you very much. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.